All right, welcome Heavy Metal and Booze. I'm Sean. I'm here with the webmaster Kevin, and we're excited to have with us today
Tadeusz.
Hello.
I'm here, you son.
Connor.
I'm Tad.
And what do you play?
I sing and play guitar.
The bass, I guess.
And I'm the drummer.
Awesome. All right. It's been 4 years since you guys last played in the U.S. Pagan Fest. What have you guys been up to?
We've been trying to make the new album, finish it, and we've been playing a few tours in Europe and a lot of festivals, I guess.
I was gonna say nothing, but okay. You beat me to it.
Nothing too?
That was more than nothing, but yeah, it's been a bit slow because of trying to finish the album.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff.
How would you describe your unique brand of metal?
That's difficult. It's
Lots of things.
yeah, there's a lot of things like the sound is like basic heavy metal, only arranged maybe in a very classical way. There's just drums, guitars.
You'd say sophisticated, but
Maybe there's just drums, bass, and guitars, and then vocals. You know, nothing fancy in that regard.
Sluggish, slightly
but-
incoherent.
But the way we put it together is maybe a bit more classical than most bands do. And then there's some folk influences, you know, and the standard metal influences like Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Deep Purple, Uriah Heep, some Metallica influences maybe, and
northern heavy
So,
metal.
I guess we
Northern
call
We
it
have to label.
Nordic metal. If I'm not sure that means anything to people, but one might call it that.
Like we would say Viking metal almost.
You could.
Okay.
We've sort of given up trying to run away from those labels.
Yeah.
People call it Viking metal, folk metal, pagan metal, but that doesn't mean you know what it sounds like before you hear it.
It's all in one. Everything. a
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
everything.
What I think about it at least.
So 20 years of Tyr. How'd you guys start?
We started in Copenhagen in 1998, and former drummer Kari and Gunnar and I started together, and we were sort of the leftovers of an earlier band that we had together in the Faroes, and I had some ideas that I never got to try out, and I sort of wanted to put a new band together to try it out, and it worked.
Cool. Can you tell us anything about the next album? Is it going to be any concepts or anything like that?
Yeah, we have like a mythological concept for it. I probably can't reveal yet precisely which, but sort of maybe it's not shoot.
Yeah.
Darn dude.
It's maybe not a concept album, more of a similar subject for most songs album. Yeah, there's not like a red thread going through it all. Wouldn't say, but it's sort of based loosely around the same subject. All of it.
Okay, cool.
And it kind of reminds a little bit of the Ragnarok album. It's stylish.
Oh. How far along is it?
It's almost done.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
just
a
I
few
need
solos,
to record a few solos. I have the equipment with me to do that on tour, and do some minor corrections to the rhythm guitar here and there, and edit the choirs. And I was really hoping to make that before we reach Los Angeles, so I can tell the people from Metal Blade that the album is done. But haven't been able to do that so far.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah.
This one comes from my buddy. He found a review of your last album online, and he just wanted me to share it. It says, I shaved my beard off, then I bought the album. By the end of the first track, my beard had grown back. Then I deadlifted 750 pounds and ate an entire cow raw, and invaded a small country armed with only brass knuckles.
I think I've seen that interview.
Yeah.
Or review.
What did you try and do the same thing for the next album?
Was that for the last album?
Yeah, the last album.
For Valkyria.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, something similar might be said about this. It's this one has slightly different musical inspirations. Like there's more songwriters from Gunnar and Terje, and Terje's favorites is like Pantera and Metallica, and I guess Gunnar's is more like.
So he's the
Deep
Cemetery
Purple.
Gates. He's
Yeah.
the Cemetery Gates guy.
Gunnar's songwriting is more like Deep Purple and Rainbow, maybe, I don't know.
Oh wow.
So it's sort of going in several directions at the same time, but the songs I've written are like same old.
Well, this one we have done. Me and Hera have done a lot of arrangements together. So on this album. So.
Yeah. We've sort of been listening through the tracks even before, just on the digital format before we recorded anything, sort of arranging them together and putting together the music, and after we recorded it, we also did some changes to it. So this is more thoroughly worked through than the last album, much more, and that's why maybe it reminds
Way
us
more
of
complex.
Black
This
Metal.
is also more like a learning curve. This is done at home. This album, most of the album is done at home.
Yeah.
And new technology and all that stuff we gotta learn.
Exactly.
So it all takes time, more time than we thought it would.
Much more. So
Yes.
setting up your home studio to record it professionally is not as easy as we thought.
Editing and stuff like that is
Yeah.
not. We're not as fast as a guy who sits every day in the studio is.
Jacob, for
So you're
example.
producing it yourselves?
Yeah, we produced it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we're just sending it to Jacob Hansen for mixing and mastering.
That's cool. Who does the tattoos?
That's Terry.
He's not here?
No, he's actually doing tattoos.
Oh, still.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if you contact the band ahead of time, you can get a tattoo from them before the show.
I could do one.
Yes.
But I suck.
I mean, that's the ultimate souvenir, right? Look what I got.
If anyone wants to, I'd be glad to.
Sean. I do have a question for you guys. I watched an interview last night on YouTube, and you were being interviewed by a gentleman. I forget his name, but you mentioned writing the music and not wanting to sell out. What are when it comes to selling out or getting to that point? Like, what's worrying you to get to that point? Like, what don't you want to sell out, or what are you trying to do to avoid that point? And if you do it at that point, what would you do? Like, what to selling out to you? What does that really mean necessarily for the band?
I mean, I have to confess, we do think about when we write the music that we want as many people as possible to like this. It has to be like listenable, and it has to be arranged in a way that is appealing to people, and we should maybe get a feeling for that.
That is a business point of view.
Yeah.
Because we gotta live.
But you
So,
still make music that makes you feel something. It's not like you just start from scratch and make something that means nothing to you. You just want to make money from it. No, I think to preserve your integrity, you just start from a point that you have some feeling for, and music that you actually like yourself, and as long as you do that as a starting point, you can sort of steer it in a more commercial direction on purpose to try and make a living from this in a better way. But I think once you lose the need to have music that you have any feelings for, I think then you probably sold out.
Makes sense. That's a good answer. I like that. that especially that ending part right there. You have to feel the music constantly.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
As you can see, we're enjoying some mead here, some Viking
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
brew, I guess. Very tasty. So my friend wants to know who would win in a sword fight between you and a Monomark.
I think Johan Heck would win in a sword fight between us and the rest of Amon Amarth.
Oh, he would take everybody out, huh?
I'm afraid so.
Bring the thunder and the lightning
Yeah. And the hammer.
and the hammer.
If we interview him sometime, we're gonna tell him that.
Thanks.
Yeah. We're gonna tell him, according to Harry, he'll take out everybody.
Hail to the hammer!
Big guy. But teddy bear, a sweet teddy bear he is.
You got anything else?
What do you got next? Go ahead and go to the next one.
Oh, is there some kind of beer you look forward to drinking when you come to the States that you maybe can't get in the Faroe Islands?
Faroe.
The Faroe Islands?
I think from us three, I'm the only one who really does drink beer here, and To be honest, I just wanted to taste Pabst Blue Ribbon.
PBR, huh?
See, here in the U.S., the hipsters have ruined that for us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know the whole story. I just remember the scene from Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. Yeah.
Well, you can be my beer friend, my beer friend.
All right.
We'll drink beer all day long.
Let's have one after the show.
Okay.
Did you try the mead?
Cheers.
Skol.
Skol. Is it picking up the double bass
It probably is.
from upstairs?
Yeah.
We're backstage here at the Forge. It's here. If you just joined it in. Is there any like proverb or advice or anything that would inspire a musician or maybe somebody struggling that you'd say?
I have a Faroe proverb tattooed on my chest.
What would it say?
It says, "Who dares wins and who dares loses." So, coming from a musician, it's a fucking gamble to try and make it as a musician. It's
Yeah.
not. It's really hard work unless you're very successful
You have to
immediately.
persevere.
And if we had any sense, we would have stopped years ago. We're not talented. We're just stubborn.
You might say goodbye to all family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That is very hard to have working together unless you get extremely successful.
yeah.
You actually get some money out of it because we're poor guys.
Yeah. We're not doing
Poor
this.
and talentless.
We're not doing this for the money. That's for sure.
You're doing it for the interviews.
For the fame
And for the free mead.
for the
This stuff will warm you up, man. This is,
It does.
pleasure of feeling
it's not what it
self-important.
looks like. at
No,
all.
this is his first mead. He's never had it before.
And he's only gonna drink mead henceforth.
Yeah, forever. He's got the beard, right? He has to.
I would say the best for music, if you start with don't ever give up.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do. Don't ever give up because
Yeah.
you'll meet so many walls. That's incredible. There's more down than ups,
Yeah.
but when you finally get to those ups, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and don't follow trends because they come and go.
And it might take 20 years.
Yeah.
It surely might. But, you know, it's...
Start when you're 17 and not like me, like when you're 27.
Yeah, or even earlier.
Yeah,
You start
you
when
can.
you're 13.
Now, when you first started, you incorporated native music, the a cappella, into your music, and then you just threw in the heavy metal because we need more metal. And when you make your albums, you know, in the past 20 years, what's keeping you from not writing something that you've already done before? Like how much harder after all these albums that you've put out? Like how much harder does it get to put out something completely different than you've already done?
I don't think that's so difficult because the ballads are there's no, I can't say countless because there's not countless, but there's a very very large number of Faroese ballads that I could draw from, and they all have wildly different melodies. So the pool of influence like at my disposal is I'm not going to get through that in one lifetime, not even close. So and the musical style sort of slowly changes over time. We play, for example, much faster now than we did to begin with.
Oh wow.
And
Usually it's the other way around.
Especially the new album. I
Yeah.
mean, there are some songs on there which are absolutely untypical for Tadeusz.
yeah, so things just slowly go in different directions, and I don't yet have the feeling myself, at least, that I'm writing the same song twice.
No, but you will certainly hit a certain style.
Yeah.
And see, we've done a song that looks like this before, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter really because
Structures,
it's not.
of course, they
Yeah.
repeat
It's
themselves.
it's not the same song.
Yeah, like we have maybe 4 or 5. I don't know how many main structures they sort of revert to for each song.
And that goes for every band because
Yeah.
they will at some point repeat themselves,
Of course.
but not
It's
completely.
inevitable.
Yeah.
So, and it's okay.
It's fine. Look at bands like
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, AC/DC. I mean, they do fine, and they have. You recognize the sound immediately, but you can also hear it's a new song.
Yeah.
Accept, Pretty Made, some bands that I love. So if we could hit that balance, have a recognizable sound, and without writing the same song twice, I hope someone would warn me if Did you make that in this
Yeah.
other song?
You did that 3 albums ago.
I could have forgotten and thought I made
It's a
something.
sequel.
Whoa, this is so
It's a,
cool.
yeah, it's a sequel. It's part 2, right?
So,
It's like Metallica with all those Unforgivens.
You
Now,
guys all right?
Gunnar and Terje and I do. Tadeusz helped us with arrangements in this one a little bit.
So music and lyrics.
I write the lyrics myself, but they sort of come up with working titles for the songs, and I try to use them in the lyrics as well. So it would be better probably if we had more cooperation on the lyrics as well.
Yeah, but that is a tricky part.
Yeah.
Because for at least here on me and Terje's part, we are very, very different from each other. What we like, what we come up with, and it's not all suited. It has to suit in. Here is a concept more or less, so that it has to fit into the concept. You cannot just throw anything into it. So you have to try to fit it in.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be easy lyrics wise.
No, it's probably going to be difficult, but we did it well with the music this time, I think. So maybe next time lyrics. It's always all the time crunch at the end. Lyrics are last. It's just rushing through it to get it done to do the vocals.
Happens every
Yeah,
time.
we have a dream to take our time with one album and do it properly. And it's supposed to be the last album, supposed to be the one before that, and now this one.
So now,
Yeah.
boys and girls and all gentlemen sitting at home.
If anyone could tell me, how the hell do you avoid the time crunch at the end? I haven't figured it out. It gets worse and worse.
for some reason, I can do stuff at the last minute. I don't know why. After all these years.
Yeah.
Well,
But I don't know if I can make an
work,
album.
I work best under pressure.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
like
Then
You
I have to
do it.
focus in and shit,
Yeah.
I gotta do this
I
now.
work
Because that's when
only
you're all
under pressure.
focused, right? Yeah.
So I like to go away somewhere and record
Yeah.
Okay.
instead of this being home didn't work for me at all.
I'm saying here.
But you know, you have to try a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It gets easier if you work in the studio. I mean, when we were at Jacob's
Yeah.
place, I mean, we were quite productive.
Yeah, we did.
We
but,
had,
but
we
I
had
mean,
three and a half days.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're
songs
there,
are arranged already, you know. Going
yes,
in the
of
studio
course,
with
but
nothing.
but you know, if we
Too late.
go somewhere, I don't know, in the Norwegian woods.
Yeah,
and-
Svalbard.
Yeah, Svalbard, exactly. And then be there for 1 month, writing songs. That would
Dream
be
of my
very,
life.
very.
I would like to go
Yeah.
to Tahiti.
So,
Why Tahiti? That was very random.
Yeah, it's far.
I
away.
was in Haiti.
I know Tahiti is better.
I want to go somewhere where they have no insects. That's why I want to go to Svalbard.
Insects?
No insects.
No insects.
Only polar bears.
You can come around here in the wintertime.
Yeah, where we have a lot of snow to share.
Good.
Yeah,
No snow bugs.
a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Snow bugs, yeah. So you,
On second thought, you don't want to be here.
our taxes are too high. But anyways, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier about the new album. You guys can't say anything about the new album.
Well,
It's blue.
blue, blackish, and square standard format CD.
Because we've
Video
heard
record.
we've heard fall of 2018. As,
Oh, when it's released.
yeah.
If we finish it now before we reach LA, then they have.
It always takes time. doesn't
Then
it?
Jacob has to mix it, master it. How long it's gonna take?
Could be September.
I have no idea about his schedule, and then he delivers it to the label, and they need 3 months to prepare the promotion. So
Fall, yeah.
that would be if it's out in September. I've made so many predictions, and they've all crashed miserably. So I'm not even gonna try this time.
Okay.
The
So-
less you predict, the less you look like a hit.
As soon as you guys are out of here, I'm gonna go back to work on the album.
Oh shit!
oh man, Oh yeah, because you got some time before you guys headline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on at 10:55.
10:55.
Okay. Now, if maybe a little bit of fun if you can, if you guys want to.
Here's your man.
Is there any? Can we get a teaser of a native acapella from back in the day?
T-shirt.
A teaser, like a little sample of an acapella, like a native acapella that you guys sang back in the day.
Go ahead, man.
No.
Go ahead.
No. Don't do that.
You want it?
Something from the time.
My Faroese is
You
non-existent.
sang the voice for the Faroese
Oh yeah, I
on
did.
the album.
Yeah, do you have the lyrics here? Because I have to read it.
I can whisper to you while you sing.
No.
No, I think we'll skip on that one.
Okay.
No, we covered everything.
Okay.
I think it's been.
Yeah, that's been 20 minutes. Yeah, so I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Well, let me say thanks to these guys for taking time out, and this really means a big deal to our page and everything.
Yeah, thank you for doing
Yeah,
this, and good luck with your page, man.
And it's Friday night. We're here at the Forge backstage, so come and get some gun craft beer. And
No Pabst Blue Ribbon.
or PBR, yeah, I guess so. We'll finish off this meet here, and we'll talk to you later, right?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.